Kamal Wilson here with a former player and a great friend of mine, Brandon Alston, here for Lehigh University. Freshman superstar here. Just want to get a little profile on him. Brandon, listen, how do you feel in your first season with Coach Reed?
Really good from the summer to now. It's been a lot of it's been adjustments, but I really like the way he coaches and his attention to detail. It rubs off on the team and shows that every day counts, every practice counts. So I've been really happy with my choice so far.
You were already committed to Lehigh, so you already made your decision before anyone else. What about the school made you want to come there? What about Lehigh said, I'm going now?
When before I transferred to Herndon, and that's when I made my decision to commit to Lehigh. And about the school, probably I'd say the coaching staff and the family environment the players have, and I just really like their style of play also. The pick and rolls, and I can see my game transferring there.
Now, coming out of New Jersey, you were definitely a high recruit. You know, even coming into Herndon, everyone knew who you were. How have you adjusted, whether it's mentally or just in terms of the game, as maybe coming off the bench? You're not the star player here, not yet, but how have you adjusted your game to fit into what Coach Reed is asking for you?
Well, I think a lot of it is just confidence. Whether I'm starting or not starting, I still have the same mentality towards the game. I know what I can do, so if my role is to start or not to start, just when I get in, I'm just going to try to do my best and just help us win, because I know our overall goal is just win the Patriot League championship. So when you get that ring on your fingers, it doesn't really matter what role you have.
Kamal Wilson here with Coach Reed. Thank you so much, Coach Brett. We appreciate you having me here today.
Really happy to be here to visit with you.
Thank you. So I understand there's a young squad you have under you, many freshmen, sophomores. Primarily your top two scorers are sophomores, if I'm correct. How have they been gelling under your leadership?
Well, you're right. This year's team is a relatively young team at Lehigh University. We are pleased with some of the talent that we have in place. However, some of the lessons of maturity and consistency are things that we're constantly working on. We've had some big wins against notable programs, including road wins at DePaul, a Big East school, and at Arizona State, a Pac-12 school. However, and I think that shows that we can play excellent basketball. However, we need to make sure that we do so for a full 40
players. Brandon, how has his learning curve, you think, adjusted versus your other young players?
I think experience and maturity play a great deal into shortening a learning curve. I think anybody who steps into very competitive intercollegiate athletics at the Division I level, very talented younger players, can kind of adopt and be able to grow by and build the habits that we see as necessary. You take a young player, for instance, like a Brandon Alston, who comes into our program with possessing a great deal of talent. I think his potential and his upside is tremendous. He can score the basketball. He can make plays off the dribble. He has a good body and a good frame for the guard position. We really want to be able to utilize that. However, just like a lot of other freshmen, there is an adjustment to the speed of the game, adjustment to the competitiveness of the game at a possession-by-possession basis, and really just kind of getting the hang of what our system is and being able to be a reliable teammate and a trustworthy teammate out there on the floor. To evaluate Brandon, I was very high on his combination of skill, and feel for the game. Both of those things seemed to come to the forefront with him. He could score in a variety of ways, and for our team, over the past 4 of the past 5 years, we've led our league in scoring, and having somebody with Brandon's scoring attributes was something that was really valuable for us. I thought he was somebody that had a degree of toughness to him and wouldn't back down. He had a confidence to him in his own individual scoring ability, but also in his persona as a player. And I really was attracted to those things. He seemed coachable and moldable, even though we knew that for any freshman there's the opportunity for growth. We thought that he had a good opportunity to start to reach his potential, kind of combining that talent, that feel, those skills and some of that toughness that I think he possesses.
And I would agree. I remember his days in Herndon. He came in right away. I maybe told him, hey, just listen to Coach Hall. You already have defense down. You can score. You get the hang of it pretty quickly. And as you saw in that district championship, 6 points in a minute and 30. And I know, as you said, it's a long way. But do you see any similarities between him and your former star, C.J. McCullough?
There are some similarities between the two. CJ was a very special player and established himself right away. So I do not want to cast too big of a shadow on somebody like Brandon. Brandon's responsibility is to be the best player that he can be and not necessarily be compared to somebody else. However, when we start to take away some of the natural attributes of each player and we start to examine them independently, I'm really pleased with the way Brandon can shoot the basketball. Having that shot credibility from the perimeter really makes a big difference, because then the defense has to make a choice to close out hard to try to take away that jump shot. Brandon has more power than C.J. McCollum ever had. He has the ability to use his body to hold an angle and to take advantage. And when we start working with Brandon even further and get him to apply some footwork concepts to be able to use that athletic power, I think that will continue to help him. Brandon does have the ability to make plays off the dribble. CJ was very elusive and deceptive. Brandon is a little bit more in space kind of player. He doesn't necessarily get the defense leaning and moving as much. As soon as he starts to figure that out, especially with his shot credibility, it will really enhance his scoring and make him even more of a multi-dimensional threat.
Sounds like you got a lot of promising talent on your hands. And thank you again, Coach, for having me, and good luck to the game tonight. Thank you.